Round 1. DJ Debs versus the obstacles of life. Fight!
Time right. It's almost time, baby. You ready?
I'm so ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Now, make sure y'all hitting the thumbs up. Make sure y'all comment and let us know where y'all tuning in from. The show Get 'Em to the Metaverse is about to start. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Come on, make some noise. Put some fire emojis in the comment section. It's about to be insane. It's about to be insane. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Yeah, it's called Get 'Em to the Metaverse.
We gotta get 'em
to the Metaverse. And that's joy.
Y'all,
Over there.
y'all.
It's me.
J-Dun.
It's me right here. It's called Get 'Em to the Metaverse. You gotta get 'em to the Metaverse. Let's go.
Woo!
Hold up. Hey, hold up. Hey, first of all, how you feeling, Joy Rain?
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Get 'Em to the Metaverse. Oh my goodness, we have so much in store for you. We have our incredible guests, but before we get into all of that, J-Dun, let the people know how you feeling today.
I'm feeling like I'm about to be jigging, and I'm chilling.
Hey.
I said I'm chilling.
Hey.
Because the show is about to be epic, and I don't know what else to say, so that's it. Oh yeah. Listen, welcome back to Get 'Em to the Metaverse, the most littiest, most amazing, most fun Metaverse podcast you've ever tuned into. You know what the mission is. The mission here is to help to make the extraordinary Metaverse an ordinary part of life. And we got the amazing, the gorgeous, the phenomenal Joy Rain. And your boy, J-Dun.
Handsome J-Dun.
Yeah, man, it's going to be an epic show today. We are so excited. We always am to talk to you all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We got Arlen of the Art Reactor saying, what's up? We appreciate you tuning in.
There.
Party West with the hard pink waving. All right, whatever that is. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. So yeah, man, we excited. Joy, this has been a busy week. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me a little bit about the week, because it's been kind of crazy.
Oh, we have been running here, there, and everywhere. So much stuff going on. You know, Quest 3S has a lot of stuff, that's games and everything. So look, It's a lot.
It's a lot. You know what?
It's a
And
lot.
that makes me think we need to go ahead and get into this week's breaking news. You ready to get
Let's
into
go.
breaking news?
Yes.
All right, let's get into it right now. Well, first of all, folks, we got some news to break since it is technically breaking news, right? So, Joy, we got nominated for what, three awards. So you gotta give them the story. Give them the story before I even show them the picture. Give them the story of what we were nominated for and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so we were nominated for tech and innovation, social media, and multimedia and social something.
It's
Sorry
so
about
many.
that.
It was
Yeah,
like four
yeah.
things. Yeah.
And we won. We won 2 of them. The Tech and Innovation Creators of the Year.
Come
And
on, let's go.
also the Social Media Creators of the Year. So yeah, we've been doing it up, people. We've been
Look.
working.
So for context, we have in where we live at in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, we have award show that's just began to really get its legs called the Go Create Awards. The first one, inaugural one, was this year, and it was a big shebang. It was fancy. Joy got all dressed up and amazing. I was not able to make this one. However, we went in. She did a phenomenal job on the interview, and we went in just expecting just to have a good night, a good time, and
Yeah.
Joy. We walked out of that thing with 2 of the awards for the inaugural. We will always say, we were the first. It was the first. So we just want to thank all of you who supported us and nominated us, and just showed that what we've been doing in the metaverse, what we've been doing with the technology side of things, it's made a dent. And it's, we know scripture. We talk about this a lot. A prophet is accepted in every city except his own. So it's nice sometimes to be seen in your own place.
Yeah, it's always exciting to see that you get the recognition in your home. We travel abroad and go other places, but to be recognized within the city, that's a feat in itself. So
Absolutely, especially in the South. If you don't know, especially in the South, it's a total different energy down here. Now, speaking of a total different energy, I'm just gonna put a graphic up. Okay, like I don't even need to put a video up for this portion of this. Okay, first of all, Batman has been going off. All right, let's talk about it. Okay,
Yes.
Batman has been going off, the Quest 3S Batman. So I want to do this because last week we talked about the Quest 3S, Joy, and I'm so excited to talk about Batman because we got a chance to get into this game, and I want to hear your thoughts about it and all that. But I have to say this first of all: look at the marketing. Look at this picture right here. Become the Knight. No other
That is
way
dope.
in gaming can you actually become the character, and who better? There's Superman, there's all these people with superpowers that somehow another meteor crashed into them and then they became super. Batman is an ordinary normal person, nothing super about him, but his money is super. I respect that. I respect the money.
cannot.
I respect the money being super. And he has a vigilante heart to see Gotham saved. And you get to get into Batman and play this game. So, Joy, I want to hear your thoughts. Before we break the news about why this is so important to talk about today, what is your thoughts about Batman?
I was shocked. I was completely shocked. I went into this thinking that it was just another ordinary game, but for them to put the detail, the care in the storyline is
Yeah.
like, wait, what? And all the cool features that you get to do with it, and they really took advantage of it being in VR. Like you
Yeah.
had to do the movements in order for it to happen, and I'm like, bravo.
Come on. She want the good claps. She was like, Jeremy, we need the good claps right here. We need the good claps. Like, honestly, so one of the reasons why we brought this up is because on Metacritic, this thing has like an 83, 85. And what you guys don't understand, this is a VR game. 8 out of 10 on IGN. I believe a game of the year for comicbook.com. Like, this is going big places. Big content creators who are not in the VR sphere went out. We watched the video yesterday. Brother went out and got a Quest 3S just to play this game, and he walked away saying, I think this is this is my game of the year. Like, for someone to say it about a VR game, and I even tweeted this
Yeah.
out on our social media, I said the key part and the key takeaway from Batman Arkham Shadow is that it's not just a good VR game, it's just a great game, period. And that's
Period.
what VR needs, you know, not just what VR wants, quoting Batman, but what VR needs. So, man, just an exciting time in our space. I believe Joy believes we're about to see an explosion.
Oh, I know that we're about to see an explosion just because of this game right here.
Yeah.
And that is coming on the Quest 3S. Christmas is gonna be booming.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. I love to see it. Arlen of the Arc Reactor said, Batman isn't a great VR game. It's just a great game, regardless of being a VR or flat screen. Exactly. We have an
Period.
Alex sighting in the building saying, hey, we appreciate you, Alex VR.
Hey there.
What's up, fam? Appreciate you tuning in. Lion Like Man said, there needs to be like 100,000 more people talking about how great it is. You just have to pay $2.99 and you have a complete killer gaming system with the game. And that's so, and then there's so much more. Listen, that's what we talk about. You're gonna get the good claps too, man. You're gonna get the good claps. That's a good clap moment. Like, honestly, it's one of those things where I think, you know, me and Joy have been in this for a while. We've been in this for a while. We've been playing games for a while. We've been in the Quest for a while, since 2020. And, you know, you get promises that a game's gonna be good. And you get the game and you play it and you're like, oh, wow, the first 5-10 minutes is great. And then you drop off. Joy has heard me in this room screaming and hollering to the absolute top of my lungs, cause saying I'm Batman. So you know, I am Batman. You know, y'all saw that reel that we put out a few days ago. That was
real life.
That was actually real life. Like, I was jumping around the room screaming, saying, "Where is he?" and all these types of things. So y'all just keep that in mind when you play this game. You might want to let your spouse know what's going on. But that's what we want to talk about there. Now, there is some other news. While Meta is really celebrating success here, there was a news article that came out, Joy, a day or two ago. So Tim Cook did an interview. I forgot what publication it was with, but he was talking about, he was asked about the Vision Pro, and he was like, listen, nothing happens fast. iPhone wasn't a fast growing product. iPad was not a fast growing product. Apple Watch wasn't a fast growing product. It's going to take time. And we got some early adopters who believe in what they want to buy tomorrow's technology today. Now, literally the next day, Joy, the next day, an article comes out saying, it's like, red alert, they're stopping production of Vision Pro. And I'm like, can I be honest with you? I was like, what? I was about to go back to the Apple Store, cancel my Apple Vision Pro coverage, my whatever, the Apple Care. I'm like, y'all gonna take this thing back. If you stop in production, I don't want. But it was a clickbaity link. What's really happening? You want to tell the people what's really happening, Joy?
Yeah, what's really happening is that Apple overproduced and they made 600,000 units, and they have only sold around 400,000 per se, or they're projected to sell over 400,000. And so it doesn't make sense to completely make new units if that's what they're projected to make. So it's not saying that, you know, Apple is going down or whatever, the Apple Vision Pro is going down. It's just that they just decided to stop making production of it right now because they have a surplus.
Yeah, and so that's what people, you know, it was very clickbaity. I mean, it was everywhere. Everybody was saying, "Oh, it's gonna stop production." They're sad. They don't want to. It's almost like they're kind of like just saying it's done. We're gonna move on from this. The same day the news broke that Vimeo, which is a big, not Vimeo, I've got to remember the name of the service, but it's a new video player publication that's going to allow for spatial video to be more widely available. YouTube kind of dropped the ball. You know, we was looking for YouTube to launch on Vision Pro and allow for spatial videos to really take the next step into immersive storytelling, hint, hint, connected to our guest today. But it's just, Joy, we believe Apple. Okay. we want to believe that there's an ace up your sleeve. Like, please, like, you know, I was just talking to the guest a few days ago while we were talking back and forth. Like, man, you got a Vision Pro? He's like, nah, I don't have a Vision Pro. I'm like, you got to get one. It's some great things that's happening on that platform. It's just moving really slow, and I just feel like they need to invest in their developers, and we will see something there because Meta right now is, we kind of biased, but Meta's killing it.
Yeah.
All right, Meta's
That
killing
is
it.
killing it right now.
Absolutely. So that's our news for the week, y'all. It's not a whole bunch of news this week, but we do want to get into our apps of the week before we bring on our special guest. So Joy, I think we mentioned your app of the week last week, but I believe it was just a new app we were talking about. But what is your app of the week?
My app of the week is Maestro. I got into that thing, and boy, I tell you, I didn't think I was going to get as caught up as I did in it. I mean, backstory, I've been in band and that for numerous years, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I know how conductors supposed to be and stuff like that. And when I tell you that game is fun, my gosh, I thought it was going to be boring. I really thought it was going to be boring, but they kept like my energy up and my arms were hurting and I got a workout in. It was just incredible. The music was fire. It was dope. It was really dope.
Yeah, this game, we made some content around the channel and on my particular social media part, and it's just been a blast. And I was like, Joy, you gotta get in this game and just control the symphony and the orchestra and just get your hand and be.
I just thought that's all it was, and it's so much more than that, and it's so much fun. You just have to experience it. So that's my app of the week.
Have to experience. And this is a cool thing. You can play it with controllers, but I recommend playing it hand tracking. Yeah, and you can even grab like little remotes around your room and use them as your baton as you're doing things. It's hilarious. It's a good time and fun to watch someone else play. Now, I don't think this is gonna be surprising to anybody what my app of the week is, and if you're surprised, boo-foo on you. Okay, my app of the week. Can y'all guess? I'm gonna get real close. It's Batman. It's Batman. All right, like come on. Like think about it. I becoming Batman is a dream come true for me. I want that money too. I would like that Mark Zuckerberg type money. See, I think Mark could truly be Batman. Who knows? He been bulking up. Who knows what he might be telling Priscilla goodnight and then getting in his bat cave and doing his thing. He did build a whole little underground thing in Hawaii. So, Mark, if you're seeing this, invite us over. Batman is an incredible game. I've gotten through, I believe, chapter 1 of the experience. I don't want to spoil anything, but the game takes some turns and twists and just really, really gotta recommend them again. The game is $49.99. If you do not buy a new Quest 3 or a Quest 3S, we do have an affiliate link on one of our videos on our YouTube channel. So if you want to get it, well, I think 15% off and things like that, you can definitely get the game. But I have to recommend this. I can't recommend it enough. It's an incredible experience. Me and Joy absolutely love it. And who doesn't want to be Batman? Like, honestly. Now, speaking of Batman and being things, Joy, I have a question for you. Now, you just said you had years in the band. And what if now you remember the good old Guitar Hero days and Rock Band?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay, what if you can experience that type of experience, seeing the crowd from the stage? Would you want to do that? Playing the piano, playing the bass, or playing the guitar? Would you want to be in a game like that?
That sounds like some fun.
Well, guess what? Our new app of the week is actually called Bandspace. Bandspace is an all-new XR experience out today on the platform. Multiplayer, y'all. So one of you can play the drums, one of you can play the keys, one of you can play the guitar. It's just a phenomenal game, and you're in the crowd. You're in there. You're on the stage. You're having a good time. It's basically the spiritual successor to a rock band, but inside the headset. Now, it's not going to be as accurate as trying to play a guitar or accurate as playing the drums, but you're going through the rhythm process. But it's a rhythm game you can play with your friends. And so me and Joy are going to start a band if y'all want to join it.
Get in there.
Yeah, we're going to start a band. It's called the Metaverses. The Metaverses. Look, them done people, something like that. We gonna let y'all know when we get in there. Join our Discord. We'll let you know when we get into the game and going in. Joy, I'm enjoying just talking about all that we have going on, but we have more to discuss today. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
We got a special
Yes,
guest in the building. So look, y'all, I
we
want
sure
y'all to
do.
get ready for our special guest. Let me make sure I'm going through these, make sure I'm not missing anybody, having some good commentary. My app of the week is one that flew under the radar. Media View is working on being the best way to view it if you have your own 3D or 360 picture videos. Yeah, that was one of the 2D apps that was shown at Connect in one of the talks I talked to. And he said Bandspace is so much fun. Been playing the demo for months. So
Oh,
absolutely, absolutely. But Joy, let's get into our intro for our guest and bring our guest on, shall we?
let's go.
Let's do it. Our guest today is Adrian Rashad Driscoll. He is an XR expert, social alchemist, and a leader in immersive storytelling from Barstow, California. After chasing his acting dreams to Los Angeles, he transitioned into a career as a filmmaker and immersive media creative. With over 15 years of experience, Adrian has collaborated with major companies like CBS, NBC, Paramount, Facebook, and Microsoft to push the boundaries of immersive media and produce groundbreaking XR experiences. In 2020, he co-founded Collimation with music legend Young Guru, blending entertainment and emerging media. Adrian also teaches immersive media through global education programs and initiatives focused on education, entertainment, and medical research. His mission is to create opportunities for undeserved communities using technology to change lives. So now, without further ado, let's welcome our special guest, Adrian Rashad Driscoll. Yo, we got him in the building. Look, he ready. Hey, you about to freestyle?
Keep that beat going. Keep that beat going.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yo, call him Adrian. I'm from Collimation. How'd I get here? It took a lot of patience. No, I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm not gonna do it.
Yo, bro, we love it. We love it. Welcome to Get 'em to the Metaverse, where we get in what we get in. Let me see here. Let's do this big, man. Let me get you in the screen with us. Listen, man, we have been waiting to have you on our show for such a long time, and so it's a blessing to get in. We about to have Joy drop these fire questions. So Joy, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's do it.
Yes, let's get into it. So, what was your first experience with XR and what made you fall in love with it?
Wow. Okay, so the real first experience with XR was a Virtual Boy. And I was young.
Okay.
I had the Virtual Boy, and it broke my heart because he got recalled. So my mom made us take it back because they had a recall. It's causing like epileptic seizures.
Yep. I know all about it.
My Mario Tennis, and I was so upset. But yeah, that was my first step, and I missed it. So when I got back into VR, I mean, this is 13 years ago. I fell in love all over again. I was hooked.
Okay. Yeah, man. So you tugging at my heart because the Virtual Boy was one of my first touches into VR as well. I spent many hours playing the pinball. They had a pinball game. I had the Mario Tennis. There's a Wario game that I enjoyed. Oh yeah. And so you know what's funny? On the Quest, you can actually get the emulator now to play some of those old school games, and it's in 3D. It's really, really good. So shout out to the developers making that happen and going back in. But I want to say this about the Virtual Boy. A lot of people knock that off and say that that's not VR, but it was the first, to me, commercial piece of VR tech that we could use in our households. Like, it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say a phone's not a phone because it's not an iPhone. You know what I'm saying? The Nokia was the first
Right.
phone. You can't take away from the OG VR headset, and that's the Virtual Boy, not the NASA. That's the OG, but like the Virtual Boy was back in the day. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, can you share? And well, first we're going to talk about your company. And could you share the inspiration behind Collimation and how you envisioned blending entertainment with technology?
Wow. So when I first thought up Collimation, I was like, you've seen Goodfellas. We've all seen Goodfellas, right?
Mhm.
I was
Correct.
like, what if you could sit at the table, at the poker game? I'm like, what if you could have a seat there and actually be part of it instead of just like looking at it passively and them choosing your angles.
Yeah.
And here's something most people don't know. Initially, I had a meeting set with Quincy Jones because I did a TV show with him way back when. If y'all don't know who Quincy Jones is, I'm
Come
sorry.
on.
I look him up. Quincy's the GOAT. So
It's like, who doesn't know who Quincy Jones is?
First of all, I'm gonna put it on me for a second. If you don't know who Quincy Jones is, you need to go check yourself. You gotta go check yourself. But go ahead, let's go back to the story. Let's go back to it.
Yeah, so I reached out to Quincy and I had this idea in my head, and this is January 2020, literally January. And we had a whole meeting set up. I have like 100 headsets, so I was gonna bring him headsets. I had this whole thing.
Hold on, we not gonna just brush through that for a second. Wait a minute. What you doing with 100 headsets, my brother? We got to get to that part. How we got 100 headsets?
Yeah, so I own a VR tour, really. So I tour the world showing different pieces, and I help people show different pieces. So back then it was Jesus VR, but now we've done so much since then. But yeah, we bought 100 headsets to do this cinematic tour. We've done it ever since, really, since like 2019, early 2019.
Awesome.
Okay. So you got the 100 headsets, and you're talking to Quincy in January, and then what happens?
Then I get the email that broke my heart. I get an email, and they said, Quincy's older. We don't know what this thing is. This thing being, of course, COVID, and we're gonna hold off until we figure it out. And sure enough, I had met this guy a year ago, and I knew him because I'm a big Jay-Z fan, and I always heard Jay-Z mention him, and I knew this dude is like brilliant. And it took a year to get this meeting, and I'm like, hey, Goo, let me shoot my shot. I have this crazy idea. And he responded, this is going to be bigger than you ever imagined.
Come on, man.
Rocking it. We've been rocking ever since. Yeah.
Okay. So that got you into like the immersive piece of it. Like, can we talk a little bit more about like what was the inspiration behind, like what were you telling him to saying like, man, I want to do this thing? What was that pitch to him?
Well, I thought there was a disconnect, because not everybody can go to every concert. Not everybody. Like I'm a huge Jay fan, but there have been times in my life where I couldn't afford a Jay-Z ticket.
Say that.
And I'm like, there has to be another way to kind of connect that dot. And I think a lot of people's approach was, well, let me put this artist in a mocap suit and do all that. But artists don't want to do that. Artists want to be artists,
Yeah.
It's like, how do you keep, you guys hear me say it all the time, technology invisible? How do you make technology an adder instead of the main focus? And, Goo's brilliant. Like, Goo, you would never know he will never show you how brilliant he is, but he really is. Like, he knows technology way ahead of time. So he was very familiar with this when most people weren't. So the concepts I'm telling him, I didn't have to over explain. Like, how it is, right? It's like, oh no, this is virtual reality. No, this is
yes.
It wasn't none of that. It was just, okay, keep going. And he helped me build and expand this concept to what it is today. So the inspiration was literally because I couldn't afford the tickets.
Wow.
that's it.
That's real talk.
I ain't got it. Yeah.
A lot of technology, a lot of things that we have today it's birthed from those places of, what, I don't have the opportunity, or if we can use this to bring this type of thing for everyone, the low income, we talk about all those types of things and diversity and trying to make it easy and more accessible for more people. So I just love that this idea that you've birthed and you've moved on came from a place of, man, I would love to go to these things, but the price of entry is just too high. And if it's too high for me, it might be even more higher for others. So what can we do to make that better? So I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that.
And that's one thing we miss about accessibility.
Yeah.
That's one thing we miss because like we think if we admit that we can't afford it, then we're doing ourselves a disservice. But the richest people in the world act like they can't afford it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see Zuck dripped out in Gucci, with a huge chain. You don't see that. Bless you, son. You don't see that at all. What you see is they dress very minimalist, and this could be an $8 t-shirt.
Absolutely.
Right? I have 800 million in the bank, but here's an $8 t-shirt, and this is what I'm wearing most of the time. So, don't be fooled by that. I have to show out. But no, knowing that I didn't have it and admitting I didn't have it was really the spark to really make Collimation a reality.
I love that, man.
Awesome. And so, outside of your latest project, which we're going to be talking about, what has been one of the most memorable and innovative projects that you've worked on in Culmination, and what impact did it leave for your audience?
The most impactful, and it was actually right before Collimation, was working with the United Way to fight homelessness was really the most
Okay.
impactful. I stand by that, to this day. And people thought that the homeless crisis was just that. It was like, whatever. Most people are druggies and da da da, and people have their own notions in their head of what this is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But after creating an experience that showed, and we did this with Georgia Van C, shout out Georgia, but we created an experience that showed the supportive housing process. And
Okay.
since then, I think it's over 15,000 now, people have gotten to supportive housing,
Wow.
just
Mm.
ballots. So to be a small part of something big, that yeah, that meant a lot. That was the most impactful ever. Aside from this new project for sure.
Man, I love that. So he's segueing perfectly for us.
Yes, because we're going to switch gears and go into that project, which is called Footprints Through Time. And tell us about, like, more about it. We know that it's the legacy through Atlantic slave trade, but give us more information about it and talk about your inspiration for making this.
Yeah, it was a
Take your
hard
time.
project.
Take your
I'm not
time,
I'm
bro.
not I'm not gonna lie. Like, we started this project I think in January or February, and seeing black pain for 9 months,
Mm.
it's
Speak on
not
it.
easy. And Caitlin actually brought me this project, and when I met with Josh and Hannah, who were the funders and who actually put this whole thing together with Unknown Project, we instantly clicked. And then it was like, how can you make it better and better, right? So
Mhm.
the whole concept is you have a young kid, maybe 18, 19, who doesn't understand the ramifications and the perspectives of racism in America.
Yeah.
And his perspective is this doesn't exist anymore. There's no racism anymore, right? So you as the user play a role of his best friend,
Mm.
right? Who also, regardless of color, may not see that racism is still prevalent in America. So you don't have this lens of, oh, you're bad, oh,
Come
you're
on.
wrong. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm,
it
mhm.
becomes way more palatable, right? And we thought about doing this as just like a 2D green screen hologram, right? And I randomly I picked up I picked up the phone, which really I was sending a message, and I reached out to Ewan at Arcturus, and I said, "Hey man, I have this crazy idea, but what if we did this in ball cap? And here's our budget." And he's like, "Oh, um, I don't know if I can pull this off, but let me connect you with someone." He connected me to Metastage, and I knew Metastage forever. And sure enough, Allison and Skylar are like, "Yeah, let's make this happen." And I'm like, "Wait, this is our a whole budget though?" And they're like, "Yeah, let's make it happen." And I'm like,
Man.
this is our whole budget though, And I'm thinking they're gonna try to, do the little bait and switch, and none of it. They were the greatest partners in this, and Niantic got on board, and they showed us love. Eighth Wall showed us love, and it was incredible to see how many people came together to make this whole thing a reality. And it became a project that's value is at least 12 times what the budget was,
Come
because
on, man.
everybody wants to be part of it. So, I can't even. I'm infinitely grateful. Like, I get emotional just thinking about it. I'm infinitely grateful. You
Yeah.
know,
You know,
all the
and
people.
in the time that we are in our nation where topics like this are, being talked about almost being scrapped and removed from conversation. It's refreshing to see education and edutainment, as well, being a part of the whole process of this and explaining it in a way that's unique and engaging for our youth.
Yeah.
For that's the part. That's something that's very close to me and Joy. We were talking about this prior to getting on. She's a proud HBCU student. We are big on
Wait,
diversity.
hold on. HBCU graduate. There we go.
Oh.
Look. It's go. Look, let me go and hit the horns for her, because she gonna be mad if I don't hit the horns. But not like, honestly. Let me hit it. There we go. The point that we were talking about is just a point that this is things that everyone needs to understand. It's not just about our history; it's everyone's history. It's our history, everyone's history, and we need to have a way to encapsulate that information and bring it into a way, and using the technology that we love so much, that we're highly invested in, to see this happen on location. That was one of the cool things that when I was reading about this, and me and Joy, but looking into it, it's like, you're at this place, you're able to walk through this path and see this. It's just mind-boggling. I just shout out to you guys. Let me give you more good claps, okay, for being brave enough to go this route with the technology. And I just love to hear it.
Yeah. And so what has been, we talked about being emotional and whatnot. What has been the response from participants who actually experienced this, and that emotional impact, and what were the learning outcomes that you all learned from having this experience?
The response that sticks with me the most, I saw this little black kid. He had to be like 7 or 8, and he's walking through this experience with his grandparents. And it's like such different perspectives, and they're all enjoying it. And no, look, just so everybody knows, nobody likes slave pictures. Nobody likes them. Nobody. It's not for anybody.
Right.
It's not good. This is educational, but it's still pain. It's still black pain. Whatever, however you phrase it. So seeing them go in and enjoy it, because I saw this same in the Fraser Museum. They have a steamship, a steamboat, and like people take pictures in front, like, I'm a pirate, and it's like, no, you're not understanding. This is not what this is supposed to represent. And seeing like people are going through this experience and embracing it and respecting it, having conversations about it, like, oh wow, this did happen. Let's not sweep it under anymore. This did happen, and we need to talk about it and hopefully get some reparations. Honestly, it's just, if anybody's listening who can start that process. But no, like, it's an important conversation, and to be a small part of making that conversation happen is huge. I'm honored, honestly, as a producer. I'm honored.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It's I can feel the emotion as you're talking about it, because, like I said, it's something that's, like I said, in our nation today, just things and topics that's going on, that's just shaky for understanding. This is just a part of history, and we need all of us to understand what happened so that we don't repeat.
Yes.
If you don't know what happened, you may repeat what happened.
Yes.
And
Correct.
so just having this healthy conversation around it for all races and creeds, is just a powerful thing, and we're just so thankful to just see this go through. We have a super chat from the one Lo-Fi saying, let's get the likes up. We appreciate you.
Oh,
man.
thank you so
So
much.
let's get them likes up. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all smashing this thumbs up, because this is a genuine, authentic conversation, and we got so much more to talk about. So Joy, let's get into it.
Yes. So can you talk about the technical challenges that involved in creating the immersive experiences, and how your team overcame them?
Wow. So we had to use, I think, 7 different AI platforms to be able to get some of the imagery going. We obviously had to incorporate volumetric capture. Then how do you make it look this high fidelity? So you had to use actual streaming. Arcturus is incredible for that. but like to be able to get the images to pop out at you, was actually very scientific. So when I tell you that Harold Harold Hayes Jr., Sonny Boy Entertainment, who's a good friend and one of our partners at Collimation, he him and I spent hours just trial and error, trial and error. Oh, no, that doesn't work. No, that doesn't work. Oh, now the hologram's too big. Oh my gosh. And it's like, how do you tell this story without it being forced? And
Yeah.
we're still working on it. We still tweak things, because it's like, oh, well, what if we do this? What if we do that? But the technical challenges were huge. They were huge, and I can't give away all the sauce and how we actually pulled it
No
off.
side, no
Right,
side.
right.
We're gonna scale this, but it was a lot. And when we bid this, our vision was way smaller than it grew to. So it was a lot, way, way, way over budget, but the result is worth every single penny.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
I love what you just said. You want to scale it. A lot of times we only look at it from the mindset of this one-off thing where, hey, this is great, this is cool what I'm doing, and then we're going to move on to the next project. But I feel like a project like this, it kind of changes the trajectory of what you're trying to do. Like you might have had all right, we're going to move on to this next thing, but then after you have something as engaging and as connected to your history as well as a collective history, it's like, man, and you see the effect it has on other people. That's the key I'm trying to, I guess, lean into. It's almost like, man, I want to keep doing more things like this. And just thinking about in Louisiana where we're at, like how this could be something that we had here for different areas and different things going on and plantations that's in this, in our state and things like that, just to reenact or see things that we from a perspective through this technology. I just think it's incredible. So I hope there's some things like that and maybe in the future.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Absolutely. And everybody learned from it. From our actors like Starla and Trevor, like they're like, hey, did you know? And like they're giving me feedback, and then like the rest of the team is like, oh, well, this happened too. And then people just start growing. And it's like, it's not even Black pain anymore. It's
Yeah.
education.
Come on,
It's
man.
you get excited because you're like, I didn't know that. Wait, what? Did you know Harriet Tubman's nickname was Tippy? What? Starla told me that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And it grows so much because everybody is hooked in. And when I tell you that, the Metastage folks, the Arcturus folk, Collimation team, like how many hours we're actually into this, you
Mhm.
wouldn't possibly believe it because it's not even something we want to move towards. It's gravitational, something
Come
that
on.
pulls you in.
I
And
love
that's
that.
how any successful project actually has to be. You have to not be able to get away from it. You can jump, but you're gonna come right back down to earth. That gravitation is what makes projects a success, in my opinion.
Man, I love that, man. Look, you getting a lot of good claps tonight. Listen, we got a J Brat sighting in the building. We appreciate you, brother,
Hey there,
for
J-Brat.
tuning in and connecting with us, fam. We got a super chat from my brother Hardy West saying,
Hey, Hardy,
loving the
thank
message.
you.
Keep going, man. We appreciate you, brother.
Let's go.
And then one Terica, we know who you are now because she let us know. She's like, oh, this one Terica. Make sure to like, support,
Gotta know.
share, support others. Let's
Thank
go.
you so much.
Absolutely, we
go.
appreciate you. So, man, it's phenomenal to hear this is something that you guys are going to take even further and the investment. Thank you so much for investing the time into a project like this because it's so needed. It's so needed.
It is so needed. And we talk about how receptive it is and whatnot. Have you had any pushback to this, the culmination of making this or printing this? Have there been any pushback from you towards your team?
None. None.
That is incredible.
I haven't heard one person say anything negative about this project.
Love
I get
that.
called a lot. I get called a lot of things, some to my face, but this project has only been called like positive. It's even if they don't like me, they have respected the project, which I really appreciate.
Oh man,
Love
that's
that.
that's what we love to hear. We absolutely love to hear that.
Yes. And so, how do you envision XR technology evolving in the next 5 years?
It's funny because I did another interview at one of I think it was Blackest Tech or one of the conferences, and people I got a lot of pushback from this, and
Mm.
I'm absolutely right, so I don't care about their pushback because I know I'm right. But like,
Let's go.
um, in 5 years, you're not gonna need, not say there's not gonna be, but you're not gonna need a gaming system.
Come
You
on.
know, when you have
Mhm.
pixel streaming and poly streaming and the way technology is advancing and gigabit internet is very popular. Like I got offered 5 gigabit the other day. Like these things are evolving, so you're gonna be able to have your photorealistic XR. You're gonna be able to
Hmm.
have Gaussian
Mhm.
sliding and then it's just gonna be about storytelling now, as it should have always been about, as opposed to the
Mhm.
technology not, catching up.
Yeah.
It's really gonna take shape. And I heard you guys talking about the Vision Pro, and I don't know if you know, but like right after the day after Apple announced Vision Pro, they bought Mira,
Hmm.
which
Mhm.
is basically the iPhone like the Vision Lite, so you're gonna see that. And you're gonna see this adaptation happening very, very rapidly to where it's gonna be one of those things that everybody's like needing. So they're gonna see the value and utility in 5 years is going to be the true breakthrough. And I'm not going to say it's going to be a mass, mass people signing up. I'm not saying that, but it's going to be the breakthrough we've been looking for. Now it might happen before then, but in 5 years, the
Mhm.
technology is finally going to catch up to where it needs to be to have mass adoption.
One of the favorite things we love to talk about. Let me get the good claps in. Get the good claps in. Uh, one of the things we always say, and we've coined it for our podcast, is we see a day where you'll go into a 7-Eleven, racetrack, a gas station, and be like, yo, I want to put 20 on pump 2. I want to get them Butterfinger over there. Oh yeah, and give me them XR glasses right there. It's gonna be that simple of a thing.
Yep.
Just the way you're gonna get a cell phone today, AR glasses, technology, like you said. I mean, we're already in the future right now. We got the gigabit internet. We do Xbox cloud gaming. We're using the headset to play games. We've used streaming computers from different servers to do PCVR. So like we already in it. We already living in the year 2020, 2029, 2030
Right.
already. Like Mark,
Right.
if you're listening to this, we need the Orion glasses, by the way. But anyway, I'm just
For real
saying.
though.
I'm
For real
for
though.
real. We
Yeah.
for real. We hold on. Let me just for real, Mark. We serious. But like honestly, I think people don't really understand. Like you watching the trends with Xbox, you're watching the trends with PlayStation. You're seeing that they put Xbox on Samsung TVs. Like I see Nintendo. I could see a day where Nintendo's like, we're just gonna do software. We're not gonna do hardware anymore. It doesn't make sense. I could just
Right.
stream it to you. That I would love to see that happen in our space. So just hearing you talk about that, we'll get to that place in the next 5 years. Not even talking about the hardware, just what software and the internet is going to allow us to have. That photorealistic type of VR is going to be absolutely incredible.
Yep.
All right. So, what projects are you particularly excited about that you can share with our listeners, or any upcoming collaborations?
Um. ooh, I wish I could share it.
Oh yes, you can. Oh yes,
I,
you can, brother.
I wish I could share. So there's one we're working on. And for the record, y'all, I'm not that person. I don't have a dashiki. Like I'm not only talking about black pain, right? But we do have a project upcoming to where you're able to, using AI, interview a formerly enslaved person. So I'm really
Hmm.
excited about that because you can ask actual questions on your own time, have actual feedback. Um, Aside from that, what can I talk about? I
Come
we,
on.
we have we have 19 projects on our slate right now.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
it's we're so busy. I wish I could talk. I
I know
haven't
you.
We're not
announced.
going to pressure you.
We know.
No
We know. We
pressure.
know. We know you got the comedy
Oh,
comedy
oh.
club. There we
So
go.
yes, crack 'em
There
up
we go.
comedy.
There we go.
That's huge. So what we've done here is we partner with Nichelle Murdoch. Shout out Nichelle. And Nichelle runs Crack 'em Up. She's been up 21 years. that deserves some real claps. That
Come on.
the 21 years, she's had her anniversary 2 weeks ago. Nichelle, you deserve your flowers. But Johan reskinned this comedy club for us, and now you have interactive holograms. So what that means is like if the group, you as a collective say that this comedian sucks, you can throw tomatoes at him,
Come on.
right? And then it's gonna switch him off stage. And if you think he's funny, it gives him more time on stage, right? So
Wow.
Okay.
it's a new way to interact with the hologram comedians. And Collimation's approach has always been perform once, get paid twice for the artist, and like you see the specials on Netflix. It's the same concept.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You only perform once and then it keeps
Yeah.
going. Why not be able to do that in an immersive way? So the comedy show is going to drop before the year's out. We have a bunch of other projects. This project I'm talking about though is huge. So when you hear me talk about it, I'll make sure to
Yeah, you gotta give us the exclusive, man. We gotta let it know. Look, B Sorrell said, like that's rude that you know that
I know,
it's a little rude.
I know, and I want to so bad, but the press release is gonna come out in like probably 2-3 weeks. So I gotta hold it close to the chest, but I promise it will be. You guys are gonna lose it when you see it.
Oh man, I can't.
That's exciting.
Cannot wait. I wanna put this up. One Terica said, "What tools are you using to create these projects?" I know on one of the videos we was doing some research on you. You were talking about you've done thousands of hours in Unity and Unreal. But do you want to like maybe talk about some of the tools that if people are not as experienced with it, what they could kind of dip their toes in?
Yeah, so Unity and Unreal are always a big deal. Hey son, turn my light on, please. Thank you. I'm gonna introduce my son, by the way, too. Go. Yeah.
Come on,
Aw.
bring the legacy on.
Yeah. So the project I'm most proud of. Come here, son. My best accomplishment in my whole life is right here. Say hi, everybody.
Oh.
What's your name?
Hey.
What's your name? What'd you say? Say it right.
My name is Academy.
Academy Driscoll. Okay, go sit. My son Academy, he's 3.
Oh, he's
Love
such
it.
a cutie.
Yeah, but I forgot what I was saying. My son kind of.
We was talking about the tools using to create
Yeah, the tools.
projects.
Yeah, so we use Unreal, we use Unity, we use Runway a lot. Leonardo, we use a lot of AI tools, including Photoshop's AI suite. And what's wild about these tools is everyone has its own bias, right? So like some of them let me say slave, some didn't let me say slave. Some I'm doing like these brutally graphic scenes, right? Like it's like
Mm-hmm.
whoa. Um, and like some of the keywords that were like not allowed. Like I wrote like this slave man gets whipped and he's shirtless and blah, and it's like this horribly graphic thing, and it said red flag, you can't say that. You know what word wasn't
Mhm.
allowed? Shirtless. It's
Wow.
like so
Oh, wow.
that's a bias in AI doesn't understand as much as we think it does, but these tools are incredible. But
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to Runway, shout out to Leonardo, shout out to Photoshop, and there were like 7 different ones we used for sure.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know we had at least one more question to ask.
Yes, we do. This show is
Yeah.
called Get Them to the Metaverse. How do you get people to the Metaverse?
You give them a reason to be there.
Love
Hold
that.
up. That's one of the best answers. We've had about 2 or 3 really good answers. That's a really good answer. I love that. Say that one more time.
You give them a reason to be there. At the end of the day, nobody cares about your technology. Nobody cares about your platform unless you give them true reason and value to be there. If you put the value in the platform, it will fail. If you put the value in the audience and the story, it will succeed. But you have to give them a reason and value to be there.
Come on, man. Oh, Absolutely love it,
Love
man. That's how you end it. That's how you end the conversation.
That's how we end the combo.
That's the mic drop right
That's
there.
the mic drop moment. In fact, that we're not gonna add too much more to that. So let's get some last words before we get out of here today. So, man, tell the people where they can find you and connect with you to learn more about what you got going on.
Yeah, so on all platforms, Adrian Rashad Driscoll. Like you say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest. Always Adrian Rashad Driscoll. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I want to build with people. Instagram is where I probably post the most. I'm horrible at social media, so sorry if I don't. But yeah, I'm here to build. So like let's go. Like I'm here. I'm accessible.
Absolutely, Joy. What you got to say?
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to Get 'em to the Metaverse. Thank you to our incredible guests for sharing all that valuable information with us. And also to Jay Dunn, we have to hear from you.
Absolutely. Listen, y'all, it's one thing to talk it, it's another thing to walk it. And it's a blessing to have a brother come on and show what it means to put on for his people, for the world, and to take things to the next level. Listen, it has been a phenomenal show with you guys. We appreciate you tuning in to Get 'em to the Metaverse. People saying great show. We appreciate you, fam. Everybody who took the time to tune in, every single one of you. Don't forget to show love, hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure you keep it locked on Getting Things Done for more episodes and more podcasts and more videos all about XR and the Metaverse. Well, listen.
Yes.
We out of here, y'all. And we will see y'all next time on Get 'em to the Metaverse. Peace.
Peace.
Hey.